drift shot. Ice on the fringe is so damn frosty. The people like,
damn, that's a cold ass honky.
Rolling in hella deep, heading to the mezzanine. Dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes, those are green. Draped in a leopard mink, girl standing next to me. Probably should've washed this, smells like R. Kelly sheets. But shit, it was 99 cents. Copping it, washing it, about to go and get some compliments. Passing up on those moccasins. Someone else has been walking and bummy and grungy. Fuck it, man, I am stunting and flossing and saving my money, and I'm hella happy that's a bargain, bitch. I'ma take your grandpa style, No, for real, ask your grandpa, can I have his hand-me-downs? Velour jumpsuit and some house slippers. Dookie brown leather jacket.
Hey, I'm gonna pop some tags. It's Saturday Slam WTN. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday morning, 9 a.m. It is not cartoon time. It is wrestling time. And ladies and gentlemen, I am your boy, Justin JLB, but I am not alone. I am, of course, with the boys. Big Red, how goes it, good sir?
It's going. It's Saturday, and it's time to talk wrestling.
It is indeed. And Mr. Kid Crazy, how goes it?
Everything's pretty good after a long week. Some interesting wrestling topics to get to. So let's do this, boys.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And definitely a few injuries also to report as well. So we did see, we started off with CM Punk last week. I guess we can at least mention at least this week. CM Punk did choose Raw. We all saw that happen
right
on Monday night. CM Punk and then Seth Rollins came out right after, and they gave us the promo of, well, I guess from a good few. I was going to say promo of the decade, but it's a bit of a stretch. It was definitely a great promo, and I am excited to see more from both these guys promo wise. CM Punk did mention he's entering the Royal Rumble and will probably face Seth down the line, probably WrestleMania at this point. And pretty much we got the Hangman Page storyline going here with CM Punk for Seth, where Seth will be the locker room leader and will defend his WWE boys. Because on that promo, he basically mentioned that he doesn't think he's here for the right reasons. And he will do what he can to stop him from messing what they have here, because it's not his home. This is Seth's home, or I'm paraphrasing, but this is Seth's house, and no one is going to take it away. And just great promo all around, and I am excited for this match. I don't care if it's a shoot or a whatever. Obviously, it's all a storyline, but I'm down for it, and God damn it, I'm into another CM Punk storyline. Love him or hate him, he's still there.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was a very strong promo, on both sides. The only a few things I would like to touch about that promo is first would be like, okay, so can somebody tell me the difference between this promo and Adam Page's promo, and how
there wasn't any. There wasn't any.
There wasn't.
And how did Seth not go into business for himself in this promo if Hangman did when he did his promo? Because basically they are the same talking points that he uses. And it seemed, I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like maybe how Punk responded was, okay, are you done? I'll let this go. This will be your one-time pass for attacking me, for disrespecting me. If you ever disrespect me again, I'll have to come after you. So, yeah, obviously this is a part of the storyline. But was this because, like, did he know what Seth was going to say? Did the writers?
There was no writers.
No, I'm sure it was all scripted.
There was no writers. There was no producer.
That's what's being said?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know about that, especially on WWE. I'm not entirely sure that that's legitimate. Maybe Triple H would want to try that out. I think that's a bit too dangerous, though, especially for CM Punk
Yeah.
to have a live mic.
That's what Vince said. No producers, no writers. It was here's the
That's
mic.
why. Who said that?
Multiple sources.
Sources. Okay. Yeah, I would be surprised that right away in his third. I guess it would be his third live. Yeah, it would be his third live promo. That right away would give him that much leeway. But
It could also have been a test.
yeah, it could also have been absolutely. It could also have been a test.
Like, here's your mic. Let's see what you're gonna do. You know your limit.
Yeah, these are your limits here. These are where you don't cross over, and let's see if you can keep inside inside those boundaries. That could very, very well be possible. So that was my first observation. Was okay. How can what did Hangman say that can be considered going into business for himself, and that Seth did not say? And another thing is, you made me realize how AEW missed the boat on this one, where all those possibility of those.
Apparently, it's been that way forever, though. If there's no physicality happening during a segment, there's no producer.
Oh, okay.
That is
that's news to me.
quoted as the thing. So, I mean, that's how they're kind of saying it, and that's from the producer man himself there, Brian Jurwitz, kind of thing. So, I mean, but it looks like there's no, but so that's it. If it's really just a segment, it looks like there is no producer. But like you guys mentioned, there's definitely talking points and whatnot. Probably along the same lines as the Seth Riddle scenario, right? As I mentioned last week, they kind of took shots at each other, and just, Seth and Punk know how to work. It's just, there is a little bit of animosity there where they don't like each other, so it does play out really well. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, Punk could just keep it PG, and all should be good. And he's done so far so good. So
yeah, in that aspect, he's been good. So what I was saying is how AEW missed the boat on all those possible money feuds that could have happened, because some people, in both cases, a lot of blame to go around, didn't want to do business with each other. When we can see that two people that obviously don't like each other, because we've seen from the past, from shoot interviews that Seth has done. Maybe CM Punk hasn't talked about his animosity with Seth Rollins as much as Seth has talked about his animosity with CM Punk.
right,
But there's definitely some animosity there. But two professionals, hey, you have a job to do. Get to the ring, and you got to sell this program, and they're actually doing it. So it made me realize a bit how AEW missed the boat with the possibilities of feuds with CM Punk with Hangman, or the FTR. What do they call it? FTR CM
CMFTR,
CMFTR versus the Elite. A few of those could have brought AEW maybe not to the next level, but I mean to some quality feuds that could have helped out with the ratings and the merch and everything. But these guys are able to do it, be professional, and I'm enjoying it so far. And Seth is really, really making me believe in his maybe not hatred. Maybe hatred is a big word here, but for his dislike.
He did say he hate him.
Yeah, he did say he hate him. Yeah, he did say he hate him. So maybe hatred is not a big word.
Not a big word. It's the exact word you need to use.
I think this is the real deal, guys. I really think this is not a shoot or whatever you want to call it. I really think.
Well, you think it is a shoot then?
You think it is a shoot? It's not a work. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I really think this is like Edge, Matt Hardy kind of thing.
I think that's what they want you to believe. I'm not.
No, I think it really is. I really, really think.
Then you are a mark, good sir. You are a mark.
I don't
And
know
what
to I don't know to what point
I don't know
they hate
exactly.
each other. There's from that Seth Rollins interview when CM Punk was still kind of in AEW or just had been suspended before he was fired. We know that there's beef there. To what point? Maybe they even squashed it. Let's make some money. Let's go into this and make some money for us and for the company. Could have been that the beef was squashed. They're both been in the business for a while. They're both professionals, so could have been they had a conversation backstage, put all their cards on the table, and fix their beef. I think there is some real animosity there, and that's what makes it even better because it suspends our disbelief. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's a shoot, what's work, what's a work. So as long as it stays like this, man, they're making it very interesting, and it gives me a reason to watch next week what's going to be the next phase in this program.
It's the best thing that has happened since the Bloodline story. So,
yeah, include the Bloodline, the
Yeah.
Judgment Day, and now this one. Yeah, probably
Judgment Day. Yep.
probably the best three storylines going on in the last year in WWE, and just shows how the AEW. And I hate to hit this nail always.
I don't know. I think you like to hit that nail, brother. I think it's at the perfect position for you, and you want to hit it. Although I do agree with you. Yes, it is something that AEW could have used to bring CM Punk back and do stuff. But look, there was already a lot of stuff not happening at AEW properly, right? Whether it's a booking thing, whether it's someone being able to control what is happening backstage, whether it's CM Punk's fault for being too cocky, or it's the younger generational talent not respecting their veterans and their elders and all that, or just a mix of everything altogether. However, it's dude. What do you want them to do, man? He gave them their own show. You know what I mean? He gave CM Punk his own fucking show. There was still a lot of animosity as well, just going around with everybody. So I don't know. I don't know if Punk, to the point where Tony Khan was almost going to get hit. You know what I mean? Like,
technically, we really don't know.
well, I mean, whatever.
He was afraid for his life.
He was afraid for his life, and whether with lawyers or whatever, the wording is a bit different. Still, him being afraid for his life is a little indication that things got a lot more serious than just a little argument. So how much can you give the guy as well? I do want to point to a note that Mick Foley had mentioned. I don't think it was on the bump, but I think it was one of the interviews where Mick Foley mentioned that CM Punk had sent him a text right when he was leaving the WWE, right after the Royal Rumble. And he mentioned, it looks like I need to go back. Looks like I need to go somewhere else in order to get my respect back and come back here, kind of thing. And I think it was actually the bump. And that's what Mick Foley had showed to the hosts of the bump. That text in regards to CM Punk making a little indication way back when, but obviously,
And it takes you 10 years to get your respect back.
Well, I mean, he did that's what I'm saying, though. So it's just everything is all in hindsight. Oh, okay, everything kind of works well in a nice little bow. But no, but it was Mick Foley on the bump, though. It wasn't a false article.
I know, but
no, it's a full circle. I think is
full circle. Sorry, I heard false article. My bad.
No, full.
Definitely a full circle.
Circle.
The circle of life.
And there goes JLB's
There goes that light. There goes that
the
light.
Undertaker's
baby.
coming in.
But yeah,
discretion advised. But yeah, that's. But what I meant, yes, and obviously is that because I said it before. But it's also the fact that now, like I said, I want to see the next part in this program, the next promos leading up to, because we still don't know when this. All we know is CM Punk will be joining Royal Rumble, and I agree with JLB. I think it's 99% sure that it will be either Cody or CM Punk to win that Rumble.
I'm changing this light. Hold on, I'll be back.
I don't see how anybody else would be able to win the Rumble and have as much as an impact as CM Punk or Cody Rhodes for the finishing their story part. But it makes me wanna watch next week and see what's the next part in this program, and that's something that AEW lacks is the week to week storyline base where I really want to follow. And it's sad a bit because we heard, and not like we spoke about last week with that whole QT Marshall leaving AEW. He did say in his public message that he put out explaining why he was leaving, that AEW was going in a different direction. And he was more based, he liked more of a wrestling product based on storylines. And AEW and Tony Khan have decided to go more of the way of, let's say, the New Japan style, which is more concentrated more on the matches itself, the in-ring product, which works fine for, what did I say? It works fine for the hardcore wrestling fan. More of that indie base that the AEW likes to have, but when you're trying to go grab more of the mainstream base or the everyday wrestling fan, it's hard. It's hard to keep them this week again. I think AEW had 800. Dynamite had 845,000 ratings viewers, and I think it was a point 30. So in the demo, so we see that's basically the baseline of the fan base or the viewers or the ratings for AEW, and it's hard for them to go get anything more than that. And I think stories like this one with between CM Punk and Seth Rollins are the type of stories that make you gravitate to want to watch next week's show. I can't miss it. I want to see what's going to happen next. And
right.
I just had to give that dig a bit to AEW. Get back to some storyline based wrestling. Yeah.
Just keep digging. Just keep digging on AEW. Just doing it since the Montreal show. Just dig. No, you are right to a certain extent. We have all been complaining about Tony Khan's booking for a long while. Mind you, yes, he's doing good with the Devil. You know, the Devil is pretty cool.
As long as it's not Jack Perry.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. The amount of stuff I saw someone post. Hey, the Devil has attacked people with glass for the past 3 out of 4 times. It's got to be Jack Perry. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I swear to God. I'm like, this is a stupid reasoning, but I can also see it makes sense. I'm like, God damn it. You know,
hopefully it's not Jack Perry. Hopefully it's just misdirection there from Tony Khan here. Making people, because he's heard the people that would be pissed if the reveal would be Jack Perry. So it's him kind of like teasing and misdirection, so people think it's Jack Perry, and then he'll come out with something different. Maybe that's me with some wishful thinking, but I just hope it's not Jack Perry.
Yeah, no. Here's to hoping as well, and I guess we'll find out at New Year's End. What we do know, at least, is we know it's not Hangman.
Yeah, from this week's show. Yeah,
from this week's show, because they all attacked Hangman, and Hangman wasn't even the Devil either, because the Devil came out of the car.
Yeah,
mind you, we all think it's MJF, and we saw the Devil when MJF was in the ring, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything either. But man, I don't know. I almost feel like the Devil can't be a lot of people because the guy's shoulders look huge, unless he has like a what do you call it? Shoulder pads like that. Yeah.
So it's someone with big shoulders.
I missed the part where he comes out of the car. So you guys maybe can enlighten me. Is he tall? Does it look like a Wardlow body type?
I didn't see the episode yet, so I can't really answer.
It doesn't. No, I mean, he doesn't look like he's Wardlow, but he has huge
Goldberg.
shoulders. Oh God, I swear. to
Oh
God.
my God! I think
I think that's even
Jonathan.
worse than Jack Perry.
I think John. Well, the shock value would be there. I can't deny.
gee,
I
yeah,
can't
for
deny the shock value.
2.5 seconds, and then
And then
and
there would be
then
the realization of,
and
oh
then
my
it'll be the
God.
realization, and exactly. I'm trying to find a picture for you of
Of him coming
the
out of the car.
devil. Yeah.
Were they in Atlanta last episode?
In Georgia.
Georgia.
I have no idea who it is with big shoulders.
Well,
You know,
I mean that's it. It still can. Everything could really be a swerve, though.
Yeah.
And
maybe Jack Perry is working out and got big shoulders.
I mean that's valid. We saw how AJ Styles looked, and AJ looked jacked, right? So, anything's really possible at this point. They're showing me every freaking photo of the devil, except for the one where he's getting out of the car. But honestly, even at some of them, his shoulders don't necessarily look as big either, too. So I don't know. I feel like it could almost be different people playing him, and then all just to swerve us until the end. Because there's rumors that it's Samoa Joe, but it obviously can't be freaking Samoa Joe. Just because obviously like his height and his weight does not fit Samoa Joe at all. Right? So it can't be Samoa Joe, but at least not as the devil himself.
And maybe it could be to a point where we've seen this before in wrestling, where they have an idea who they want the devil to be, but things can still change since his identity is not known. So
Right.
storyline wise, maybe they could change. Because I don't know if with the body type that JLB is explaining here, it couldn't fit the description of like a Dolph Ziggler either.
Right. No,
So
that's it. That's very true.
obviously not Britt Baker either, or Adam Cole. Not the biggest shoulders. I think Britt Baker has probably bigger shoulders than Adam Cole. So,
Oh Jesus,
so
that's a bit rough.
no disrespect to Adam Cole. I love Adam Cole, baby. But yeah. So it could be. It doesn't mean that. Maybe it was like JLB said, and it was a swerve there. To make us think who could it be, because like we've heard it before with the laugh, some people interpreted the laugh was a bit feminine. It could have been Britt Baker. So that doesn't mean that that's the actual real devil there. But I would think it's time for a reveal here, and the sooner the better, because if there's no reveal in. It can't be me because I'm talking at the same time.
What's happening?
There you go. What was I about to say?
Britt Baker. You're saying it wasn't
yes.
Britt Baker.
Yes, that wasn't Britt Baker. It could have been by the body type that we're seeing. So it could be. It still could be anybody. But the reveal. That's what I was saying. The reveal. If it's not by what's the next New Year's End or World's End. The World's End. World's End.
World's End. Sorry.
Yes. They have to have the reveal at World's End. I think it's carried on long enough. I think if you don't have a reveal of some kind at World's End, then I think it could be start slipping. The slippery slope can get very wet very fast here if they don't if there's not a reveal. I'm doing a lot of talking, reading a lot of posting on the social medias there, and a lot of people are starting to get fatigue from this thing where they are interested, they want to know who the person's on, but who the person is, but at the same time, let's get to it so we could move on with the storyline, right?
Well, those are the same people that are complaining about the Bloodline story is too long.
Probably.
Probably, maybe not too, but at the same time, it also could have been the reason why maybe it stretched a little bit longer than it has is because, maybe it does have something to do with Adam Cole. Adam Cole was legitimately injured and so on.
Yeah.
So they can't necessarily do much with him either just yet.
It's not Adam Cole.
It could very well be Adam Cole, for sure.
Mhm.
Could very well just be MJF as well, or MJF to screw Adam
I-
Cole.
I
Could be a
rather
thing.
Jack Perry than Adam Cole.
You rather just be a shit disturber though. So I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if I would prefer that,
Yeah.
but
The only time I would ever prefer Jack Perry if it was Goldberg. That's the only time I would prefer it being Jack Perry. Otherwise, anybody but Jack Perry.
I would love it if
At
it was
least
Tony
not the
Khan.
leader.
I would love it.
I wouldn't though, because Tony Khan sucks on the mic. So, and he's
not
too
always
socially
about the
awkward.
mic, it's about the aftermath.
It is about, yes, that's it. But he's going to have to talk and explain why he's done what he's done to MJF with all his goons. And Tony Khan talking weirdly and awkwardly on the mic for 5 to 10 minutes is not something I want to hear because Tony Khan does not sound intimidating. Sorry, Tony Khan. It is what it is. It's why you're a promoter and not a sports entertainer.
and no amount of fucking piece of shit.
No amount of Coke is going to help you.
Thanks for that. Thank you for getting me out of trouble.
There
Can't
you
always be kid crazy with the
No,
Adam.
that's it. With the crazy point of views.
But yeah, I think it would be interesting story wise. It would be interesting. But I definitely back JLB here. That I don't know if after the reveal and after the shock value that would bring, I don't know if he would be able to carry the ball promo wise and with the mic. So it would be a bit hard. But it would be a surprise, and I think that aspect will work. But it would be a lot weight on his shoulders to have to carry the next part of this storyline.
And I mean, never mind the fact that he looks nothing like a freaking devil, in any of the pictures. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
True. And Adam Cole, I'm down for Adam. One of the biggest reasons why I wouldn't mind it being Adam Cole is because I always enjoyed Adam Cole as a heel. And I think we've had a little bit of a taste of it at the beginning of Adam Cole in AEW, but never really what he can bring. So maybe if Adam Cole would be the devil and him as a full heel would be great. So that's the one on the right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sorry, I can't actually. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit more technically. Okay. So
it's kind of looking like MJF there, actually.
Yeah,
a little bit. 6'1" to 6'3" tall. 13 to 15. I don't know what they were trying to point at there for the inches.
The width,
current body style, Mercedes S class. Okay, so they're talking about they're referring to with the car. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, I get it. To see how big he was. Yeah,
how big he was. So not the greatest photo, but that's the only photo I can find. So if you look here, I don't know how much you're seeing, but if you look here, Samoa Joe, way too big. You know what I mean? MJF, it could easily fit. If he is 6'1" to 6'3", he can't be Adam Cole. But again, Adam Cole could be wearing some kind of lifts or whatever have you. And I think that's even shorter than Wardlow as well, technically.
It definitely is not Samoa Joe because he has a neck.
Right. Yeah. There's that too. He does have a neck. So, yeah. But again, it could be anybody. Just the fact with the surprise of it all could be the swerve. You can always say, "Oh, it was one of my henchmen." I didn't want to give it away, whatever have you. So, because honestly, between Adam Cole and Samoa Joe, and even MJF playing it are probably the three best options to make them the devil. So,
yeah, I would see a Jay White too, and maybe because at the beginning of this whole storyline, he was more involved in the storyline with MJF, and then in recent weeks, they kind of like moved him away from that.
Or
storyline.
Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong. Now, Roderick Strong is too short, though. Again, kind of an
true.
Adam
If we're
Cole
going
scenario.
off, if we're going off that 6'1" to 6'3" height, yeah, he's a bit.
But at the same time, he does have the fans kind of behind him, even though he's a heel. Now he can walk again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm just not sure with that too. Because he was legitimately injured for a while too, though, right? That's why they initially did the whole wheelchair angle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for all that time, but he was legitimately injured for a little bit of it. So Roderick Strong could be nice too. It was, it's him and Adam best friends, but why is he attacking MJF? Maybe he's jealous, kind of almost the same as the Britt Baker excuse.
Yeah.
So that could kind of work as well. But again, if we're looking at, unless there's a swerve with the Devils changing, if we're looking at that, it can't be Adam Cole or Roderick Strong. We would be too short.
Yeah, if we go off those measurements, yes. But like I said, they could be swerving us and making us
for sure
pointing us in opposite directions of where the actual devil is.
Right.
But that's why we gotta. It's good. This, like I said, the storyline is one of the best ones right now going. It makes me want to watch following week, so that's a good sign from AW. But I do think we need to get to the second level or the second phase of this program. We need to know, because soon I might just stop caring and stop wanting to know.
Could it be Swerve?
I think it's a possibility.
I mean, he already has kind of his own little group thing, right? Yeah. I don't think so. I think Swerve is. I mean, yes, I want Swerve in the title picture, but I don't think it's Swerve. That'd be cool, but he already kind of has his own group. It would kind of maybe be a bit too obvious, but also Swerve wouldn't necessarily fit. He fits the height. I don't think he would fit that whole shoulder style. Again, yes, could be a Swerve or whatnot. Pardon the pun. Yeah, it would be cool for him because it would give him a lift, but at the same time, I don't think he's there yet. I don't think it's anybody in the Continental Classic. If to be fair,
don't make sense. I agree. I agree with that. I don't think it's anybody in the Continental Classic. It wouldn't make sense, but we never know. But Swerve, I definitely agree. Swerve's been on a momentum for a few months now, and putting up banger after banger. He definitely deserves to be in the title picture, but I don't think this is the way to put him there.
Right. Definitely not the way to put him there, especially since he doesn't really have much with MJF to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no point putting him there like that. Oh my God. That's one of the problems with doing the morning shows. Jesus. Should be up and at him, though. Shouldn't be tired either. So, but yeah, definitely there's no storyline to be told there. There's not even one with Jack Perry. All these people are making these things. Of what a feud that happened. I think like the first year of AEW, like you're gonna go back that far, and it wasn't even necessarily anything crazy big. It was before he was champion.
Technically, there was also the Four Pillars match, right? Where
that's
program.
Fair. Okay, yeah. Four Pillars. That's true.
Yeah.
That was
maybe it was at the beginning of MJF's title reign, so maybe a year ago around.
Really? Shit. Okay. And the Four Pillars were MJF. It was Starks, Hangman, and
no, it wasn't Starks.
No, it wasn't Starks. It was Darby, Jack Perry, and Sammy Guevara. That's it.
And Sammy
and MJF. Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
Where we haven't seen Sammy for a while. Do we have news? Is he injured? Is there an injury here?
He's a new daddy.
Well, he's a new daddy too, though, so he did
Okay,
take
so that
time
makes
off for
sense.
that.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like we haven't seen him since what show was it? Since it was since All Out, no? So it's been a while since we've seen him too.
I think the
Kind
last
of the
time we
same
saw
time
him
as
was
Jack
maybe
Perry.
was with that story with Chris Jericho. He was the
Right.
only one that stayed behind after the rest of the faction left
Oh, and he
Jericho.
didn't really stay behind either. He says, "Listen, I love you, but I can't
Yeah,
be
true
part of
that.
this." All that, and then I think he was there for a bit longer, but then he bounced.
Yeah, they had a little period where they were doing the tag team with the Sex Gods,
Right.
and then he bounced. So, but if he just had a baby, so maybe it's just some time off to
Right.
take care of the wife and the baby. So there's many people in that roster, that big roster, because AEW has a big roster, but there's a lot of people that we don't see very often.
Right.
They will come back. See, like there's a whole storyline, but it's more on Collision where Miro, with CJ Perry, with his wife,
Right.
where every person that she aligns with, he kind of destroys.
Mhm.
But if you don't watch Collision, you would barely know that because they have a problem in promoting, or not promoting, but recap or showing you what happened on their other shows. You barely see that, at least from on Dynamite, showing what happened or what storylines are going on Collision. So
Very true. You kind of more only see it on Rampage, where Rampage will show you Dynamite,
yeah,
and then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That might maybe be due to because Rampage and Dynamite are on the same day, and so they have all the stuff there, and they're just like fucking around. But I don't know. That's no excuse. You know what I mean? Yeah, they definitely they're just horrible with promotion all around. We've discussed and you've discussed the Montreal promotion just for being here was bad. Their promotion they just have an overall problem with promoting anything that they do, even to the point of their own actual show in terms of the storylines. So I don't know. I think Tony Khan does need to maybe take a class or two just on how to get the fans interested in certain storylines. You just got to keep rehashing it, keep showing it, keep showing it, keep showing it. They do know how to do it, but it only feels like you can focus on one thing at a time.
Yep, true.
When you have a 2-3 hour show, oh my god.
And it's
When
a
you have
problem because I think you could use the visibility that Dynamite brings to you, because it is your a show, no doubt about that. That is your show that brings you the most viewers, and I think you could use that a bit to try to sell Collision a bit, because Collision has a hard time. So other than not counting the time slot and the day, but also the promotion, the fact that, hey, this is what's happening on Collision. So if you guys don't want to miss this, because some hot stuff has been happening on Collision, bring it there. Show it 3 times. It doesn't, it's like a 15-second, between 15 seconds and 30 seconds of a recap to get you, like they do on SmackDown for Raw and on Raw for SmackDown.
Right.
It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. I don't know if it's a communications problem, a marketing problem, but whatever the problem is, it's got to be fixed, because watching Dynamite, which I try to make the effort every week, that doesn't give me a reason to want to watch Collision. Where Collision, I really got to go out of my regular scheduled programming in life to watch. And they're not giving me, because that's what it is. Saturday night, people have lives, people have stuff to do.
Right.
So you have to give me a reason to want to watch, or at least to want to tape it so I could watch later. But so far, they haven't given me that reason to watch Collision. And I think this is stories like the Miro story. Miro, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Miro. Okay. Miro would make sense. That would be because some people. Miro has a big and I say base following, and his base ever since the Rusev days. He has like that grassroots base, that will always be behind him, and I think you could use that to promote Collision, and they haven't done it. So many also guys like Andrade will have a random match on Collision,
Right.
but no real storyline to keep him there and to want people to follow his matches. So that's I think that's important, and they have the roster. They have a huge roster and people that we haven't seen in a while. Some people that we would like to see, and I think they have to be. They're not being utilized the right way, and it's a shame because there's some good people that could bring so much more to that show. But I digress.
No, that's fair. And they've had that show before, I think, honestly, since the get-go. They can only work on certain things at certain times. They have certain stuff that are good, that stick, that are, we do want to watch. And, that's going to affect Tony's booking, ultimately affects who was, the top draw, let's say, when we do get to our end of the year awards on December 30th. Stuff like that affects, in reality, who have we seen this year make big pushes? MJF, Swerve, Moxley, but Moxley's just kind of always there. He was more of the last year's pusher, if you will.
I think after
randomly for his promos, but nothing. We don't have any real big storylines per se. Aside from the Devil, I can only really think of the Devil and
like you said, following Swerve has been fun.
But that's it. You know what I mean? I'm like, there has to be more though, but really. And Christian.
Yes, Christian, of course. I totally agree. His feuds have been on the ball.
Father Christian, his whole Father Christian gimmick has been fantastic. But again, it's not. It's been great, but the thing is, there's not anything really to it, right? At the same time, the Christian Edge match didn't really do anything, but it's really Christian on his own, just making it work. I feel like so. It's hard. It's hard to make someone like something when you don't really get any kind of backing or time. You gotta help with the ideas in some way, shape, or form. And give the proper amount of TV time for it. But Christian's doing what he possibly can. But I don't know. There's just something missing there.
I think that's also another storyline that they're dropping the ball with because the potential there is so much bigger. These are two legends. I'm okay with calling them legends.
Sure.
I think they both can be top on the mic. And I think it's not doing it. It's not getting the attention of the fans as it should have. For example, Montreal show, they put on that match that they had prepared for the two previous weeks, and then bang, we have no continuation of this thing. That they should be having another match because I don't think that match in Montreal would be the culmination of a Edge and Christian feud. Adam
Did
Copeland.
they do anything on Dynamite today?
I don't remember now off the top of my head there. I don't remember. So it's like it's like you don't continue with that momentum. So bang, people don't. I find it a bit sad in that case because you got two legends like this that you could really let them go and have a big program, and bang, you have a match in Montreal, and then bang, we don't hear about them, and then what? You're gonna come back in 2 weeks, where continue and have a match at World's End again, which I think would be the thing to do here on a pay-per-view. Have this match.
It's gonna be more of a gimmick match, probably.
Yeah. Or a chair match because of the concerto. History there. It could be a cage match, but I definitely think it will be a gimmick match. But am I really? Do I really care?
No,
they haven't brought me there yet. So maybe before World's End. So maybe next week.
the whole the whole thing of Adam Edge, whatever you want to call him, I never really cared.
Well,
The
I never
beginning of
really
it.
picked up. Never really
No.
picked up. Never
No,
really
that's
picked
it. His
up.
debut was cool, but then it kind of lost its.
It was okay. Like, okay, he's there.
No, but it was cool. It was cool how they brought him in and made sense
Yeah.
between the Christian match and all that. And then you saw them look eye to eye, and then he goes and spears Kill Switch there.
Don't call
No,
him Kill Switch.
Kill Switch, baby. It's better than fucking Luchasaurus.
Definitely better than Luchasaurus.
Well, I think when Luchasaurus comes back, he's not gonna be Luchasaurus no more.
Hey, it's gonna be Kill Switch. Because they're still together, right? They're not. They haven't broken up or anything.
I think he's gonna.
Christian?
He's the reason that Christian loses the TNT title.
Because we have seen a kind of a move towards a face turn here for Killswitch. We've seen he turns his back to Edge to let him like kind of hit him, like kind of a punishment.
He comes back with Jack Barrett.
He's tried. Oh my god, he's tried to like rebel against Christian, but that didn't work also. So I think there's a story there behind where they're trying to tease the face turn of Killswitch. But I think Killswitch can work too for a face. I would think. Depends.
Well, I mean, we haven't really seen Killswitch do much yet. Technically,
yeah,
we've seen Lucha do a lot. Killswitch hasn't done a whole lot. New name. I don't know, man. I feel like he just kind of Luchasaurus, Killswitch, whatever. It needs to kind of change up his whole getup. Yeah. Maybe still keep the mask or whatever. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, he's a good wrestler, but just never really cared for him. Even when he was with Jungle Boy, they were good, but it wasn't anything like, there's no charisma there for me.
Yeah, he has the charisma of a tree branch in winter.
Wow. I mean, I get what you're selling there. That makes complete sense, but damn.
But hey, he is very agile, and I've seen some impressive spots from Killswitch. But does he do anything else for me? No. Do we want to hear him with a mic in his hand? Not sure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because we haven't really heard from him. But I guess in the face turn, unless he's with somebody, he would have to get the attention and get the love from the fans. So he would need to talk one way or another.
Right.
Or maybe I don't know if he has it in him.
Maybe he becomes mute.
Mute?
I mean, damn.
Goldberg never spoke.
I mean, he at least said who's next.
Yeah.
And you're next.
Yeah.
And
but way after. But in the beginning, Goldberg never spoke.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, we've heard him grunt, so he's definitely not a mute. You know what I mean? So I don't think that would necessarily work. But yeah, all that to say, AEW needs. I feel like Kid Crazy here. All that to say, AEW definitely needs a lot of work to push other storylines for sure. And they do have 1 week until year's end. And will the Christian Edge match be there? Who knows? I don't think they did anything on Dynamite this week.
Hopefully tonight on Collision we'll see.
Hopefully it starts a little bit on Collision because they got to get some momentum somewhere. With that, we do got some injuries to report.
Yes.
So we got first up, we got Charlotte Flair, who did injure her knee on SmackDown during the Tribute to the Troops show. It wasn't during the moonsault, which I completely thought it was because that moonsault I just completely hate. However, it was during the match at some point. There was video footage that we showed on our socials that she was holding on to her knee, and it does look like she is going to be out for 9 months.
Yeah, we saw her heartbroken tweet on or post on X where it was probably her confirming that it's going to be a long absence.
Mhm.
So it's a shame because she's just came back from a long absence,
That's it.
and so hopefully these injuries are not a recurring problem. I could understand her disappointment, and the fans' disappointment too. I know we have a lot of
Especially during WrestleMania season, you know?
yeah, leading up to WrestleMania. I understand we have a loaded women's division in NXT, so maybe it opens a door and gives an opportunity to one of the women on NXT to move up and maybe take a spot on the main roster. But it's definitely disappointing and sad for Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed. We had maybe hoping for the best. That maybe didn't.
Oh,
need
her
the-
tweet was just a broken heart?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, where did she say? And then I'm like, oh, okay, the broken heart. Yeah.
So it's a shame. I know she did when these people are at the top of their game and a top athlete the way Charlotte is. It's always a risk that these injuries happen. I hope she gets well soon because she's a big part of.
Did you hear
that
about
women's-
where exactly she had gotten injured then?
There's a few videos, clips circulating on social media.
Okay.
I don't think it. I'm not. I wouldn't be able to say with 100% certainty that's
Okay.
where it is.
Okay, they haven't
But-
pinpointed it though.
Yeah,
No
they
one
haven't
says-
no
has
one
reported
says.
it. Okay.
No.
And yeah, so hopefully, you know, the 9 months time frame is wrong, and
Mhm.
she can get back sooner rather than later. You know, hopefully before Mania, but ultimately just hope you heal up sooner rather than later, Charlotte, because you will be missed. And
So she'll be back by SummerSlam.
I guess
If it's the 9 months there,
the full 9 months.
yeah.
Wow.
But they always maybe add a bit so like that when she does come
Right.
back.
It's a bit of a
let's say
surprise.
it's a bit of a surprise. Exactly.
It's gonna be after Mania,
So,
though, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be after Mania. And as I would like to ask you guys a question: who would be if you were to bring one person? I know it doesn't work like that, but if you were to bring one person from the NXT women's roster that can maybe fill that void of a Charlotte being gone for 9 months, who would it be? I'll go first, and I'll say definitely, in my opinion, is Tiffany Stratton to
Yeah.
come in and fill that role from Charlotte. I don't think Cora Jade or
Tiffany
what's her
Stratton
name?
is the one that faced Becky.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's ready for main roster for sure.
yeah. I agree too. And she it's not. I'm not comparing her to Charlotte because she obviously she doesn't have the acolytes even close to what a Charlotte has. But I
Right.
can, she's a pretty woman, very very athletic, athletic. So that comparison fits, and she's good on the mic. So she's been NXT champion. She's proven herself. So I think she's one that could shake up things on the main roster.
For sure, we're gonna see her in the Rumble. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably, yeah. Along with maybe one or two more NXT stars, because Roxanne Perez, I feel like, is also ready. The only problem is I feel like they all need a better gimmick. I feel like, and within NXT, they're all now, mind you, I don't watch NXT always so too often, but when I do find a lot of these gimmicks aren't necessarily anything exciting or doesn't give them too much charisma aside from Tiffany Stratton, where she's a little bit more different. She's just playing that cocky character. But Roxanne Perez, or even between Roxanne Perez or even when Cora Jade.
Well, Corey G got a lot of work done, by the way. If I don't know if you've noticed.
Cora Jade,
I
what?
think got a lot of work done.
Work done?
Shane.
I don't know if you noticed.
I don't know. I noticed a change. But at the same time, she's very young. So maybe it's just a pure natural. I think she's like 20, 21.
Yeah, but she got
It's-
it's implants though that she got though. I think.
She's going out with Braun Baker. Yeah,
Breaker.
Breaker.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he's a baker, but he's also a breaker.
I was never a fan of him.
Oh no, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He will definitely be in the
like him.
Rumble, if not. Yeah, he'll definitely be in the Rumble and most likely on the main roster. Come,
Not a fan.
I think he's surpassed.
WrestleMania.
I think he's surpassed already his dad.
Father. Yeah.
Oh,
His dad, and I know that doesn't take too much.
it doesn't take too much.
But he's definitely close to he's definitely okay, maybe not, because I was watching the other day some old clips of the Steiner brothers when Scott was a bit more normal, and man was he good.
Oh, Scott was phenomenal. They both were like they both complemented each other very well.
Yes.
Singles,
but I think his agility too. Scott's agility was really top, man. Those Frankensteiners at that size, all those suplexes from different ways was very impressive. And Braun, I think Braun is has the agility.
He does.
He has the charisma. Obviously, he just needs to work a bit on his promo skills, because eventually you're gonna have to say something other than just be pissed off and want to break faces.
That's a fair point.
But I think definitely him too. He's definitely ready for the main roster. There's no other reason. I don't know. I was surprised that when he lost his belt, didn't move him up right away and kept him this whole time. I know there's a little feud going on, and that he had, or that he's in the middle of, kind of. But I think it's definitely time to bring up Braun Breaker, and I think Royal Rumble is the perfect time. And if he doesn't need to win, and I don't want him to win this year's Royal Rumble, but I think to have a few eliminations and be in there for a good amount of time would work for him. So.
Yeah, I almost for sure I would see him in the Rumble, just so that the WWE main roster fans can see him, see who he is, do some crazy stuff, maybe do some stuff with like a Gable or even like a Ricochet or like a Logan Paul, or even someone a little bit bigger, so it shows his powerhouse skills as well. Mm-hmm. He's built and ready for the main roster. I'm almost surprised to see Carmelo Hayes already. Not surprised. I think he does deserve to be in the main roster too, for sure. But to see him pushed up before even Braun Breaker 2 is a little bit surprising.
True.
For me there. But maybe it's just a one-off as well.
I think that match next week, I'm very looking forward to that match next week between Carmelo and KO.
That's
for that next for that tournament for the U.S. title, right?
U.S. title.
and if KO loses, which I don't think, but if he loses that match, I think we really know what's the final.
Which would be obviously Carmelo against
Logan.
Oh well, yes. I thought you mean the final to make to be number one contender. Okay. Yeah. I think, but I don't know, because I think KO and Logan Paul would put on a show.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I would love for KO to be U.S. champion, because I can't stand Logan.
Because I don't know what the plan is with Logan. If you want to keep him champ a long time, and he has been doing his job in promoting the belt, and
he really has, with all those little viral videos and
all those viral videos he does. He makes an effort. He makes an effort to bring the belt in all the interviews he does. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of visibility for the company and for the belt. But I don't know what the plan is. It's because it's not like he's okay. I know he wasn't going to be a weekly. Like, he wasn't going to be the gimmick of the U.S. challenge every week, right? We knew Logan Paul wasn't going to do that. But he maybe he's not defending it, but at least he's there every week, whether it's through video packages or through stuff. He's really making this storyline go forward. So I'm enjoying. I just don't know what the plan is for Logan Paul, but I wouldn't mind having another KO US run, US champion run here.
I mean, I guess you don't technically have to make Carmelo win. I think that would make Carmelo really strong, unless you're ready to put him on the main roster. You make Carmelo
I
win.
think that's the plan. I think that is the plan, though.
I think maybe it's just to see how the fans react to him too. Yeah, it's just to see how the fans react to him too. Could be to also make him look good. So I don't think KO is just going to squash him per se. So it just depends. It depends what they're doing. If they really plan on making him going on the main roster, then this is the way they do it. They make him beat KO. That makes him look really strong. And then he goes and faces Logan at, I don't know, at Mania or whatever. Maybe at even, I guess, the Royal Rumble could be the case where he can face Logan as well. So it just depends what they want to do with him. Either way, I think it's going to be a fun match. I missed the Carmelo match this week. This was what he did this on SmackDown, right?
Yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah.
So I did miss that because it was on the first hour. How was
Very
it?
good. Very good match. Very good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was facing.
Was it?
My God, what's his name?
Good match, guys, but they don't remember who. Was facing.
The Australian.
Grayson
Lawler. Okay.
Thank you.
That's right.
That's right. I can't stand. That's why I remember.
That's right. It was Grayson. Now, it was a good match. It was there was a story there behind of was Shawn Michaels, right? Shawn Michaels is the one that got Carmelo into chose Carmelo into the tournament,
right?
So it's kind of like he has the HBK backing there, so the chance and it doesn't really because he still has kind of a storyline going in NXT, where he was attacked with Trick.
With Trick, yeah.
Yeah, with Trick. So he was attacked.
Trick.
Some people are saying he might have attacked himself there, and so there's kind of a rift happening. So on NXT, there's kind of like a beef there with Trick and kind of a heel turn happening. But then on the main roster, he gets called up. He gets chosen by HBK and kind of still a face. So that's why I'm hesitant a bit in predicting that he'll be moving up to the main roster.
Right.
That's why I think there's a strong possibility that KO might win next week. But I think, like KO mentioned in his promo yesterday, talking about how when he came from NXT and had his match against John Cena, he wasn't able to beat John Cena. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sami Zayn was the one that beat John Cena, but KO didn't beat him. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not 100% sure. But it did propel KO to the next level. Like, oh wow, who is this guy, man? He's really good. So I think that could have the same effect for Carmelo here against a veteran like KO.
That's the thing they can definitely do. It's definitely it's set and built to make Carmelo look strong regardless.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. It just kind of depends what they want to do. And yeah, but you're right though. Him and Trick are gonna need to finish off what they're doing, unless Trick is the one. Unless Trick is the one that screws Carmelo over for next week. That could work out as well.
Yeah.
Because Trick winning that Survival of the Fittest match was Trick, right? That won the Survival of the Fittest match.
The Iron Survivor.
Iron Survivor. Survival of the Fittest, I think, is the ROH one.
I know what
probably.
Yeah. The Iron Survivor match. Fucking what a fun match.
Yeah,
I don't watch NXT, but I saw that match and I was like, whoa.
But
like, maybe I do need to start getting into the NXT.
But that story with Trick, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be done on the same weekend as Mania with that pay-per-view, and then he moves up.
Well, it culminates this this kind of program culminates with a match at Stand and Deliver, and then
there you go.
You put Trick over, and you move Carmelo up to the main roster. That's a strong possibility. I think that I think that could work out, even with what JLB said. I think with a trick coming and costing Carmelo his shot at the U.S. title here by causing him to win versus KO, I think can be the start of the end of this feud with Trick, the story with Trick, and then from here till WrestleMania, have it culminate at WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm good.
By the way,
Trick,
is it no longer Takeover? It's called Stand and Deliver now.
yeah, it's called Stand and Deliver.
It hasn't been Takeover in a hot minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They don't use takeout.
They dine in room.
They that's
they don't use takeover anymore.
Yeah, I remember they had talking about it, that they would have.
They did change it to
Takeover
Takeover to Stand and Deliver. Okay, Takeover is still the better name, I feel. But yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. They're not going to use it. Oh well, JLB likes the Takeover instead. Let's all change it. No, they don't give a shit. Stand and Deliver. Fair enough. So on that note, another injury we have to report is Kenny Omega has reported it on Twitter that he did have diverticulous, which is essentially an infection within the digestive system. It's more near like the sternum there. Same thing that Brock had quite a few years back. Mm-hmm. And Paul Heyman did mention that it almost destroyed Brock. Mm. So that's what Kenny Omega is going through. That's why for the promo, where a lot of people were bitching that Kenny Omega looked kind of out of it, it's because he was dealing with that, and he has been dealing with that pain for quite some time. So, I mean, thank you, Kenny, for just always sacrificing yourself for the entertainment and betterment of to build a storyline. But Kenny Omega has mentioned that enough was enough, and he kind of needs to take care of it now. It's kind of sad because he did mention last time he was injured that if he does get injured again, that chances are he would be retiring. Here's to hoping he's in another mind state, but at the same time, if it's a little bit too dangerous, he has prolonged a lot of his injuries to really to a point where his body, he's at the point of giving up, and then he goes and deals with them. So who knows? Maybe his body is now saying enough is enough. So we'll just kind of see what happens.
My question is, who's going to be the new tag team champions? Because it's not going to be Big Stan over there and
Big Bill.
Yeah. Hey.
Big Bill. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just depends, I guess, on who they face. It could be one of Don Callis's. It could be one of Don Callis's teams there, because Don Callis did mention that on Rampage. Since I don't know, I thought they were just gonna do a little attack, and it was Kenny who got attacked or something. Make a little video package, but they didn't do that yet because apparently it's still Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the tag champs, which obviously isn't going to happen if Kenny Omega is feeling the way he's feeling. So Don Callis did do his little promo, and that's what it could be. It could be one of Don Callis's family rules. So it could be any team from Don Callis who kind of hold the tag titles. So we'll see. They haven't done much with Hobbs, so maybe this could be Hobbs's time. Along with who's the other guy? Who else is part of Hobbs? Not Osprey. Osprey doesn't need a tag belt. Not remembering anyone else from Don Callis' family.
Well, there's take a shita.
Calm down, MJF. Takashita, yeah, for sure. But I feel like there's someone else too. No, I guess that's. I guess Sammy was there, but then he left too.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I guess maybe that's it. But he's still building, so maybe we'll see someone new sometime soon. But I definitely think Hobbs needs some gold to push him a little bit more. At the same time, I'm kind of getting used to Big Bill and Starks as champions. Starks is kind of he kind of maybe saved that promo from Dynamite with what he did mention. I did like the little jab at the whole Enzo Amore thing, though. That was kind of cool. But Starks seemed like he was very charismatic, and
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed Bill's what Bill said that 4 years ago, whatever the amount he said. People thought it was the end of me, but I said I would be back on top. And where am I? Back on top. I liked the way he formulated that promo. Obviously, Starks is a better wrestler than Enzo could ever be.
For sure.
But that being said, I think Stark doesn't. I don't know. I was going to be harsh, but no, I don't think he's good. But I don't think he's as good as Enzo was on the mic and hyping up that crowd. He gets his point across. He's smart at putting together his promos. But he's no Enzo. So I don't know. I kind of blushed at that a bit.
I mean, he's no Enzo, but I also feel like he's a bit more serious than Enzo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think what allows Starks to really kick in.
He's too soft.
That's Big Bill. That's Big Bill. Big Bill's the soft one. SAWFT soft. I think it depends on who he's working with, because if you remember that Starks and MJF promo or Starks and CM Punk, that was some pretty badass stuff. Again, though, you are working with two of the best in the promo game, so they know how to make you look good. So I guess it just depends. But again, no one necessarily cares about these tag titles, and Starks is doing all he can too. So it's not all on him, Tony.
No, that's why I think there's time. I think there's time for this tag team. That's why I don't think the tag team, they're going to take away the belts as soon as we would think away from this tag team. Or wish for. I think they'll give them some time to try to develop.
They haven't been on TV in God knows how long.
Well, I think the last time was the promo we're talking about.
Well,
yeah, that was on Dynamite.
Yeah, it was on Dynamite last week, right?
This week.
Too soft.
No.
This week.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was this
was
week.
It this week? Okay, it was this week. So yeah. So, like I don't know. But at the same time, look, the ROH tag titles are in like a kind of a nowhere moment because of Adam Cole's injury.
Right.
So kind of the tag team division there is a bit lacking recently for AEW. It's not for lack of tag teams, because there's definitely the tag teams are there, but they would have to find a key. I wasn't a big fan of the Golden Jets or the Gold Jets, like Big
Golden
Red likes
Jets.
to call them. But at least there was a story there, and now hopefully we'll get.
But I like the Golden Jets, the Gold Jets, whatever you want to call them. I really like the name.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's Chris Jericho's little. Chris Jericho loves making new monikers and new names, so that's right up his alley. Yeah, no, they were okay. Two Winnipeg boys. It's cool, but and maybe it was leading somewhere with the Young Bucks as well.
True.
So that would have been fun, but unfortunately, Kenny Omega can't take the pain anymore. So that leaves Chris Jericho all alone.
I wouldn't have minded
out of the tag team title picture, unless Sammy comes back.
Oh yeah, and the sex gods kind of take the torch here. I wouldn't mind. I would have liked to see, rather than the Golden Jets, I would have preferred seeing the Golden Lovers having this run at the titles. Well, now obviously that's off the table with his injury, with Kenny's injury.
Who is that? That's Kenny and
and what's his name? The Japanese one from New Japan.
Yeah, I know that. I know that much.
Ibushi.
Ibushi. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kota Ibushi. That's
Kota
it.
Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi. So that would have been fun. Kind of, they had a good run, and I think they fit well for a tag team.
Mhm.
But yeah, we don't got it. So now either the Sex Gods, but there's opportunities. I guess we've seen in recent weeks Penta tagging up with what's his name? That Lucha Libre guy mask, but not his brother, obviously. We've been seeing forgot his
Commander.
Yes, exactly, Commander. So we've seen them more recently having some matches. So maybe they're just preparing us for them to come up. FTR's been around.
Yeah.
FTR hasn't been around. Sorry, so maybe they could get back in the picture. And obviously, like JLB said, when the complete turn of the Young Bucks is ready to come back on as the real heels that they never were yet. Well, they've played heels before, but not really to this aspect where they had to now scrap being the elite, the show, because couldn't really be real heels while still having kind of a comedic show on the internet.
Is that why they scrapped the show?
Yes, kind of. That was the
kind
reason.
of the purpose. Okay.
The reason that was given, yeah. So, so yeah, and maybe it's time for a little change with the Young Bucks because they ain't young so anymore, and they would have to reinvent themselves, if they want to like go into the next phase of their career. So yeah, so tag team division really needs some guys there to lift it up.
Any news on what's happening with FTR? I know they have a 6-man tag, but besides that,
not really, because they're more on Collision, so I kind of sometimes miss them.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's same here.
That's what we spoke about before. That
they don't really talk about it on Dynamite. What happens on Collision? So it kind of puts the people that don't watch Collision in like what's happening with these guys, what's happening with like FTR, and they sign new contracts, so they're there for a hot minute. For a hot minute, so might as well use them.
That's it. And so with that, I mean, so we got AJ Styles. He came back.
No.
Right?
Yep.
So that is that just happened on SmackDown, and he turned heel right away. So he basically came back. He attacked the Bloodline, and he came back to help Randy Orton and LA Knight. But then he attacked LA Knight afterwards, after the Bloodline ran away, and then he walked past the Bloodline. So cool that AJ is heel. Weird little way that they did it, but the guy looks jacked and ready to kick butt.
Hey, I'm down for AJ Styles LA Knight feud.
I'm down for that as well.
So I think
definitely down for.
I think we're gonna see Knight and AJ at Rumble.
Yeah, that could very well be.
Or it goes through Mania.
Yeah, it could be that they don't have a match right away at Rumble, but they have the feud or the story continues at Rumble, where they meet during the Rumble inside the ring, and it culminates with a match at WrestleMania. I don't know. Maybe somebody can enlighten me here. Did they feud in TNA?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, Jesus.
Eli Drake and
were they in the same time? Wasn't
that's what I'm not sure about.
I don't think they were in the same time. Because honestly, AJ was.
I think Styles.
Because I know AJ. Because I know AJ came. It's 7 years now that he's in WWE. So we're talking about for 2017 around that he came to WWE. So 2017, take out the 3 years that he was in New Japan. So that would be around 2014 would be when he left 2015, the latest when he left TNA. So I think maybe they crossed. They overlapped in the times there, but I'm not sure if they ever had a feud.
I don't think they did. No, because I'm
No.
trying to check that out here, and
Or I also see Knight versus Orton at Mania.
no, I think that's gonna. I think it's Randy Orton versus Solo.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
make
someone
sense.
bloodline related.
Yeah, they have to do that's. I think they're gonna bank on that story, the feud with Bloodline for a while now. He's gonna be fighting Solo, Jimmy.
It's gonna be Jimmy versus Jay. Oh, by the way, that no yeet thing was fucking hilarious. Where Jimmy ended up saying yeet when he got excited when Roman told him that you're gonna go show Randy Orton, and he's like yeet, and then Roman's like, "What are you doing?"
No yeet.
He's like,
Yeah, but LA Knight also told Orton that's gonna be him that's gonna take care of the bloodline.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like I want to take care of him. They did me wrong. I'll take care of them. The other one, no, they did me wrong. I'll take care of them. I think they can kind of go both ways. But I think that they'll focus on Randy Orton for a while now. Just keep LA relevant enough and feuding with top stars, so that he doesn't lose too much momentum and he stays like top and deserving of being in that title picture. But for now,
keep in mind, Cody is going to be Cody's still a Raw guy technically, right?
Yeah.
But Cody's going to eventually be going down to SmackDown. Yes, there's a thing.
There's no thing.
There's no what?
There's a thing. There's a draft. And now
there's people that go left and right, like
but now they at least kind of make a trade happen, kind of thing.
It's so just to say
it makes more sense now than when they did it before, because now they at least make it into the storyline.
Believe what you want to believe.
It's two big parts of the recent storylines have been the fact of where Randy Orton was going to sign and where CM Punk was going to sign.
That's it.
Yeah, so they're definitely pushing the narrative that each draft
matters. Yeah.
Each draft matters, and where you are matters. So obviously, the big stars, you'll see them crossing over once in a while, like JLB was about to say. We know that right now, Cody Rhodes is a Raw performer or superstar, but we know that if he wins the Rumble or after the Rumble, whether he wins or not, he'll be migrating to SmackDown to challenge Roman Reigns. So we understand that it's a bit fluid there, but they're trying at least to make the fan or the viewer know that there is a roster here,
right?
SmackDown and thing. And yes, this is WWE, so sometimes they will break their things, but I think that the idea is there definitely. Randy, yeah. So that was Randy Orton. I liked his promo to open last night SmackDown. I like the way he said, "There's one thing that I would always be, and that's a legend killer." Because he kind of throws him the flowers. Yes, you are a legend. But then he goes,
yeah. Everyone knew it right away too. You just heard the fans like, "Oh, legend killer."
They were waiting to back him up there, and I love the way he ended the promo, saying, "Just one more thing, Daddy's home or Daddy's back."
Daddy's back.
Yeah, Daddy's back. So I really like that. I think Randy's just phenomenal. And I think you could ride on Randy Orton's back here for a few months, at least until before WrestleMania, where he's feuding with the Bloodline. And if the rumors are true, I don't know if you guys heard that. I didn't want to talk about it because it's just rumors, so there's no real. But apparently, that after WrestleMania, Roman will be taking a long leave of absence, or will be absent for a long period of time. So,
but did one of the bigger dirt sheets report that? Snapper Meltzer?
No, I didn't see it from the. I didn't see it from the like those three big counts.
Okay,
with or without title?
It was more. Oh no, I definitely think he's losing the title one way or another at WrestleMania.
As long as he loses the title, he could take as long as he wants.
Because I think we confirmed this already. By WrestleMania, he has surpassed Hulk Hogan's record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So if he surpassed Hogan's record by then there's no reason, because he's not gonna get close to Bob Backlund or Pedro Morales or Bruno.
Bruno, he has to be champion until 2028.
Yeah, which is not going to happen. So,
well, I mean, the problem with a lot of these days are, one, they should honestly scrap it and make it about defending the title.
Right.
Because you have title, but even defending the title doesn't really work, because back in the days you did work a lot more house shows, a lot more live things. So it's really not fair to compare the two eras. So I really think they should do like a reset. Maybe every 10 years or every 20 years or something, you do a reset on the records, because it's really not fair to compare. They don't go, especially between a part-timer, and the fact that you can't house shows on top of all of that with title defenses. I mean, kind of weird, but
a defense
Roman
is a defense.
Has only no, it's fine, but I mean, it's on a house show, so it's not really there. But mind you, again, when Bruno did all those titles, when he was only on TV for probably a good chunk of them. A lot of them was through territories and stuff like that. So not a lot of people saw it throughout. It wasn't national, right?
Yep.
So I honestly, because in reality, Roman only has about 30 title defenses.
Yeah.
In what, 3 years? That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that's televised. They say it's 55 without with live
counting
shows.
house shows. Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. That's why they don't mention it that much, the defenses, because then it kind of diminishes. Yeah, it kind of diminishes the accomplishment of having the title so long. But they have mentioned the modern era record. They sometimes throw that out, so people know that it's okay. Yes, there are people that have held it longer than Hulk Hogan, but that's the modern day era.
Okay, that's fair.
So I've heard them call it that, the modern era record various times, which makes sense, because even Bob Backlund, if you go before Hulk Hogan, which was Bob Backlund, which I think in all it was almost 6 years that he held it. So it would be not only crazy nowadays to do that, but with the number of defenses and with the contract that Roman has, it wouldn't make sense. And also for him, like apparently his contract should be done. Apparently we don't know when, but I think it's 2024, because I think he renewed his contract 2021 after coming back from when he took time off because of the pandemic, because of his risk with his leukemia. So then I think he signed a new contract, but I think it was a 3-year contract. So we're coming to an end soon. Listen, I think he's stamped WWE. I think it's not a question of whether he wants to stay or not. I think it's maybe he has some ideas of maybe going into doing other stuff for a while and then maybe coming back later. So I definitely think Cody, if they have this match at WrestleMania, this is the time where Cody finishes the story.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, because there's a big, strong risk that if you don't have Cody finish the story now, then nobody gives a fuck about the story.
Exactly. 100%.
So yeah, that's the thing with Roman. But Randy Orton is the perfect guy to have in a feud with him, and to maybe be the last guy before Cody, to come close but not quite reach it yet, and then makes it easier for Cody to finish his story.
Yeah, and it makes Cody even more stronger, and also at least with the relation with Randy, with legacy all that, kind of a nice fit. How they'll go about that, I don't know. They can even maybe do Because I feel like CM Punk has to win the Rumble.
Punk wins the Rumble.
That's it.
And
And
they're gonna find a way
maybe
for
Cody
to go
faces
Rumble.
Randy at the Chamber to see
Could
who
be.
faces Roman.
Could be. The only reason why I agree with you guys. Listen, I think story wise, and personal preference, I would prefer CM Punk to win than Cody, because Cody winning would be him winning second year in a row. I think Shawn Michaels the only one that did it back to back.
And Austin too. No?
Austin.
Oh, back to back. Yes, you're right. Totally right.
I think
Yeah,
Austin won it.
Austin won it 3 times, but
three times in a row.
he did win once back to back. But I think it's easier storyline wise. Mind you, I think there's possibilities to do it other ways. But since CM Punk is already on Raw, and since there's already a backstory there with Seth, it would be easier to have a match between them two without CM Punk winning the Rumble than finding a way to bring Cody to SmackDown and a rivalry so you could bring Cody versus Roman. But that's just me maybe overthinking stuff.
But you're right about that. I mean, they're both already on the same brand. Cody would have to switch. How would you even do Cody versus Randy? Unless, Elimination Chamber when they're 2 different brands. No, you're right. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, then again, we can see CM Punk. I just don't see also CM Punk necessarily doing a match until he goes against Seth almost.
Yeah, didn't want to risk an injury, guaranteed.
Right, for sure. So I'm like, but then what else? I mean, aside from the Rumble, he's going to be in the Rumble there. But
yeah,
like then how else do you make CM Punk face Seth?
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Unless, because one way or another, there's going to have to be. They're not as. AEW is more fluid on that, or they leave more loose for the baby face versus baby face, but kind of WWE have been kind of consistent on having heels versus faces, not having 2 faces and just have a match. Right. So I think unless there's one of them turns, I'm talking about not Cody, Seth or CM Punk. That's a way they could maybe bring this match together. Like,
well, I mean, mind you, who's the heel and face in Seth versus CM Punk?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Right now, I don't think they have. Right now, they haven't pinpointed it yet, because we saw the crowd chanting, singing Seth's song when he came to the ring this week. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, during his promo, when he's basically lashing out at CM Punk, then the crowd started chanting CM Punk. Right. So, and we saw the week before when Seth, for the first time, mentioned CM Punk, and he goes, "I don't want to talk about this guy. I don't want to waste more time on this guy than I need to." And then the crowd starts chanting CM Punk, Punk, and then he kind of like tells them, "Yeah, get out of your system, guys, because I won't be wasting much time with this hypocrite," which I think was the words he used. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm curious because I'm stuck on the fence here. I don't know which one I would rather see as a heel right now for this feud. If it would be, because I think Seth is a great heel, but I also think CM Punk can bring this feud to the next level as a heel also.
I don't think I would put a heel. I think I would just let fans go
choose.
Yeah.
Like
well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think they're going to be able to choose. That's the problem. And at the same time, you maybe don't need an actual direct heel or a direct face. CM Punk and Seth Rollins are both the top 2 guys that can literally be straight in the middle and be heel and face at the same time in the same exact segment. They're the Austins of this generation kind of thing, right? Austin, what was he, a face or a heel? He was a face, but he did
most
a lot
of the time
heel tactics.
Most
You know
of the
what I
time.
mean? Most of the time, he did turn heel when he was corporate Austin and whatever, and then turn face again. So I don't think you're gonna. They love so much that even if you make one of them heel, it's almost scary to see what's gonna happen because then the fans could just start chanting them
Well,
anyways, and then there
it's the
goes your
same.
heel versus
It's the
face.
same thing as when Hogan was fighting against The Rock. Rock came in as face and he ended as a heel, but just for that match. But still, it's the fan reaction that made that match. And as
But I
of
think,
today,
exactly.
and as of
Yeah.
today, we still talk about it.
Yeah, because he definitely came into that feud as a heel, part of the NWO, and The
Right.
Rock was your biggest baby face in the
Exactly.
company at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Icon versus Icon match, and during the match, that switched, and that was because of the crowd. And during the match, because it didn't
Mhm.
turn, they didn't turn The Rock
No,
heel
during
after
the
that.
match.
But
No, exactly.
during the match, they decided during the match with the crowd's reaction that they were going to finish the match as Hogan as a face and The Rock
So,
as more of a heel. Right, the
as
next day on
Amazing
Raw,
moment.
everything was back to normal. Yeah,
as a fan, that's what we would want.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. More that I think about it, I'm okay that them staying both face with kind of walking the line here.
Because you're gonna have people who love CM Punk. You're gonna people that hate CM Punk,
Yeah,
and then there'll be other people that they're gonna want Seth to win because of what CM Punk has done.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I agree. You're right. Very good assessment there.
So I would just let it be and let it bloom by itself.
Yeah, let it go organically. I agree. You convinced me.
No, that's it. I mean, and those two guys can do it no problem. They can play heel and
Exactly.
Yes.
face no problem. So just let them cook, let them do their
True.
thing, and let the fans decide whatever they want. Because at the end of the day, they can change their mentality in 2 seconds based off the fans' reaction. They're both, they both, are. This is not their first rodeo. So they're both two of the top speakers in the game. So they can do that no problem.
Mhm.
On that note, I'm not really sure what necessarily else in terms of crazy big news. Aside,
Well, if there's the news that Brendan, I did a TikTok about it this week. The news of Brendan Thurston from WrestleNomics, that they're the ones who basically deal with a lot of the financial aspects of wrestling. He's also on the Wrestling Post podcast with John Polak a lot. It's Brendan Turnston or Truston. Anyways, I might his last name. I might be butchering it, so sorry for that. But through his calculations, the revenue for 2023 of AEW is 154 million.
Right.
But in his calculations, there's still 34 million under, so in the red kind of thing.
dirty. Okay.
He's estimating that with a doubling of the TV rights that are coming up, the new deals that are coming up, it should be finally push AEW into the profitability zone. But 154 million in revenue, losing 34 million. You guys see a problem here, or maybe something they would have to fix? Maybe pay out, bring in less veterans or WWE guys, pay them high money and have them not on the show a lot. Do you think that's a problem for sustainability going forward, or no?
I think the problem is that AEW, when it goes to arenas, they get the big arenas,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think they should get the big arenas.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit last week.
That's it. Yeah, you got to just work your market. You got to,
exactly.
like we talked about the Montreal promo and all that. I think Tony Khan, I don't for the States, I don't know, with certain places he does go to, I think they are the smaller arenas too.
Yep.
So, because he's aware of those places, having with football and whatever. So he knows the arenas and whatever. So maybe within Canada, he's not maybe too familiar, or at least in Montreal. But
you have professional work. You have wrestlers that know what are the big arenas in Canada. You're not gonna tell me that Jericho doesn't know which big arenas are in Canada, or
No,
No, you're right. You're right.
Of course.
Uh,
It's the thing is, I think he messed up in evaluating the market
Yeah.
in some cities. Because yes, look, like Toronto, he's been going to Coca-Cola Coliseum,
right.
which is the
So
the
you should have
smaller.
went to Place Bell
He definitely should have went with Place Bell, and I think
or Verdun. There's no
from
arena in
what,
Verdun.
well, yeah, but Verdun is only 2,000 people. It would be so.
Yeah. Plus Bell is what?
Uh,
At least 8,000? 10,000?
Place Bell is 12,000 for hockey and 10,000 for concerts. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So probably you would have been able to probably get 8,000 comfortably for wrestling because of the production, the way they
Yeah.
set up the stage and everything.
And were
So-
there 8,000 when you guys were there, more or less?
No, it was 5,000.
It was
5,000.
about 5,000. It was roughly 4,000 something. It was 8,000 for
But-
each for both shows rather.
Yeah, together.
Wow.
But listen,
That's
5,000 in a 8,000 setup is not bad.
Yeah.
And 5,000 in a 15,000 capacity setup,
Looks horrible.
it looks horrible.
And
Looks
how
horrible.
And how much does it fit at the Uniprix Stadium?
Oh, I think you could fit. I think Uniprix would be a very good venue for wrestling. They've done it before with Jacques Rougeau, and I think I've mentioned it on the podcast. But I think it's close to 20,000 because them.
Oh, really? It's not big. I never went, so that's why.
But okay, but take out the stage and the production and everything, so you probably get easily 15,000.
Oh, that's it's IGA, no? It's the IGA.
Yeah, it's
standard.
IGA.
That's
It's
what they-
IGA
now.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed the
Okay.
name. Sorry, shoot, that's right.
I was like,
Yeah.
where the fuck's the Uniprix Stadium?
And I think that's a strong possibility. And with AEW, with their past shows at the Grand Slam that have been a success for their Grand Slams at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, I think there's a possibility there. And since WWE has never been there, so maybe there's less politics to play with. Because I heard the reason they didn't. I heard the reason they didn't go to Place Bell was because it wasn't available for this week. The week they came, and they really wanted to come that week because easily Montreal could have been in that Canadian tour that's coming up,
100%.
where they're going to Quebec and Toronto and
Yeah,
and
why
Ottawa.
Ottawa. Quebec? I almost I don't.
you put Montreal in the middle of like Milwaukee and South Dakota, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was, but in the middle of two random American cities. Plus, I think, like I said, I think he misevaluated the market there, and he did, obviously, like we said, he didn't do the promotion through-wise. But I think there's also a financial aspect to this because if you keep on renting, big arenas will cost you obviously more than smaller arenas, and if your gate is less, but your rent is higher, then there's a margin there that you could play with where you can maximize your profits there. Is it enough to cover the 34 million that they were under? I'm not sure because I don't know exactly the rents that they're paying out for these arenas. Right. But it's something they have to play with. So you guys don't see a problem with signing using the WCW playbook here and signing.
Well, I mean, look, it
veterans
affects, but at the same time, I mean. How many really are there? Okay, you said 34 million under. What? With the big stars that they do got, how many are at 1 million? Maybe 8 to 10? And I think that's even pushing it.
Yeah, that's probably from the old WWE guys. Yeah, I think between 7 and 10 would be they were making 1 million or more, but some are pretty close probably too. Like I'm pretty sure Miro is not making 1 million, but I'm pretty sure he's making over 500,000.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It all depends how they're being used.
Well, I mean, it doesn't, though. Contract is done. However they're used is how they're used. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Well, no, because if you're giving someone the big money and you're not using them, then you're wasting money. But if you're
Tony Khan's been doing that too, though. Like, there's
That's
a lot of talent.
That's what I'm saying.
That he's been using, but just non-WWE, ex-WWE guys. I'm just saying regular, because really with the WWE guys, he's doing phenomenal with the ex-WWE guys, right? Like you have Jericho. Jericho's his also right-hand man. You also got Moxley. Moxley's doing his thing. He does provide.
What's Andre doing?
Who?
Andre.
Andrade. Well, I mean, yeah, he's the next WWE guy, but yes, okay, that is one where he's messing up.
What's
I
Miro
don't think
doing?
Andrade. I don't
Miro.
think Andrade and Miro are making $1 million. I think he should let Miro go though.
Wow.
Honestly, Miro hasn't gotten anywhere with
But
any
he was,
company.
but he was doing good at Rusev.
He was
Eh,
over.
he was
he was
over with
over
Rusev Day, but was it
Yeah.
really going anywhere? Yes, he was
Yes.
selling shirts. Yes, Aiden English was there saying Rusev Day, but did we really care what was going on with him aside from that? He was.
Well, the
Because
storyline, the
I
storyline
think
that he had
if
was,
they would have, I think if they would have pulled the trigger at the peak of Rusev Day, which was I think WrestleMania, where
yeah,
he basically had a moment like Kofi had a moment, and
Right.
they cashed in on it. Daniel Bryan had a moment, they cashed in on it,
Right.
and Miro Rusev had that moment, and they didn't cash in on it because was it some cynical people will say that because it wasn't Vince McMahon's idea, this Rusev Day, that it got over organically. He never wanted to put him to the next level because it wasn't his creation, right?
Mhm.
So that's a possibility also.
well,
But
there
there's
was
also
that.
Jeff Hardy. I'm sure Jeff Hardy's pretty close to the million. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe because of the story, how he left WWE. Maybe he's not over that million, but I
Right.
think he's around that 750. They haven't done nothing with him in a
I
hot
would,
minute.
I would release the Hardys.
Yeah, I would have released Matt Hardy a long time ago.
Long time. But back to Rusev, like the rivalry that he had with Cena was one of the biggest moments that he had.
Yeah,
I mean,
And
yes,
I
but it's also John Cena.
okay,
yeah,
but still
true.
but the rivalry was still there with the Russian and US. That always works. I just think the story that he had with Bobby Lashley and the wedding, lesbian, whatever it was, that would kill
I think that was his biggest storyline, technically.
I know,
That's
I
the
think
only
that
storyline
I,
where he mattered between that and Rusev Day and
I think
whatever.
that's what killed him.
I mean,
Because it made
yeah,
him look like
but
it made him look like a cuck.
yeah,
I didn't want to use that word, but yeah.
It's what that's why it kind of buried him a bit. But hey, in AEW, there's been some the Redeemer
Redeemer.
I loved it.
was okay. It's just that he never was booked properly.
Exactly.
Well, that's it.
He has a good
Yeah.
gimmick. He's getting over with the crowd.
But that's what I'm saying.
And then you
So-
put him against Kip Saban. Like
right. So yes, there is a booking issue, but at the same time, I just feel like for him, it's always been a booking issue to the point where you can't necessarily blame the booker.
every single
There's
time,
something every single time. You know what I mean? Like there's something you're also not necessarily doing, especially with the freedom that AEW has.
Maybe it's just
You should be
so hard to
pushing
work with.
certain stuff. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying it's got to be something on Miro's end. You know what
That's
I
I'm saying.
mean?
Maybe he's hard. Maybe he's very picky. Maybe look, I'll do this, but I'm not doing this, and he doesn't,
be.
want to give the extra step to go the next level. Maybe he's just comfortable. There's some people who are just, you know what, I'm getting paid, I'm getting comfortable.
Right.
Yeah,
Very possible.
it's
for
very
sure.
very possible. Also, I agree
And
with that.
ultimately, that's why you maybe let him go when his contract is up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now, especially that his wife is there now, they're both getting paid. So, like, look,
But Tony Khan, I think, had said after CJ's first appearance that she wasn't really there full time. So I don't know what that means.
Maybe
Because
pay
the
per
story-
appearance.
Yeah, maybe paid by appearance. That would make sense if he would say that. And I'm. It's not like I'm enjoying. Well, I'm not enjoying because I don't catch a lot of it. But what I do catch mostly on social media, I find interesting. Not that I'm enjoying, but I find interesting this gimmick with the storyline with that he's trying to stay away from his wife, but at the same time, anybody his wife gets affiliated with, he kind of attacks.
Right.
And so I think there's some potential there, but you
he's
need to
doing
put
it
him.
for his God, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think there's still his God is still involved in the
Right.
in this storyline. But you would need a big feud with a big guy to like bring him to the next level of
Can he be the
this,
devil?
or else, well, the body, I guess.
Is he 6'1"?
I mean,
well,
he's not
maybe
the devil. I don't think it
no,
matters if he's, you know.
Now it's
no,
settled.
it wouldn't
He's
be
not
it wouldn't be the reveal. I think it would be a disappointment. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure, but I think I think I'm higher than 85% sure that it would be a disappointment.
Mhm.
It would definitely be a shock. So maybe the
I mean,
surprise is
I'm at 80. I'm at 99.9% sure he's not it, but I'll
no.
still leave that point one. I'm 100% sure though that'd be a fucking disappointment.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah. I think we're expecting somebody bigger than that, well, listen, he I don't know about the 6'1", but definitely the width of the shoulders he has, and he does have a neck, so there is a strong possibility that he does look like him, but I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. It would be too outside the box.
Mhm. Yeah, especially with and he has nothing to do with MJF at all.
True.
At all.
True. No connection, no history yet.
So with that as well, with the 34 million loss, 54 or 34 million loss, that also brings into play that WWE had renegotiations with Warner Brothers Discovery, or a meeting regarding where the state of WWE Raw would be. And rumors with that are that CM Punk had got that talk going once again after it was apparently deaded from October.
Fucking Phil.
That's what he does. He's a spiteful son of a bitch, and this is how he shows it. So I don't necessarily think Warner Brothers Discovery are going to get WWE anyways. I do think it's a negotiation tactic for Tony Khan to lower his pricing, because his contract is also coming up.
True.
For the television shows. I don't know if it's just for Dynamite or for Collision or Rampage as well.
I think they're renewing all three, because when they did that mini renew, when they added Collision, I think it was only to the end. It was kind of like they upped the ante a bit. They gave them a bit more money, but not much. I think it's at 36 million, if I'm not mistaken, around those things. Well, for Dynamite, and I think it's around that number for Collision also. But I definitely think that it could be used as leverage here, both ways. It could be Warner Brothers using it as leverage to get a lower amount, or it could be WWE using Warner Brothers as leverage to get a higher amount from somewhere else too.
Exactly.
So
because there's still rumors of Amazon, Disney, in the talks with them
Is
as
Peacock
well.
still in the combo?
Well, I mean, they would be, just considering they have the WWE network. So Peacock,
and don't get me wrong. I think Nick Khan, which probably it's probably leading these negotiations for the new TV deals. If the price is right, I think Nick Khan would love to go on Warner Brothers and like fuck with AEW. I think he would be for it, as long as the price is right. Like, he wouldn't take a discount to go to the Warner Brothers just to fuck with AEW. But I think if they pay the amount that the ballpark that they're demanding, I think there's a strong possibility, because that would be. I'm sorry, but I don't see otherwise how that would.
I don't see Warner Brothers having both, though. Discovery having both. Yes, you can put them on different networks. Sure, that could work, but I don't see them having both.
I don't see how WWE would accept that. Like, maybe like AEW would have no choice because they don't have that leverage. But WWE definitely has that leverage that I don't see how they would let another wrestling promotion be on the same network as them. But at the same time, I think there's in business is very ruthless, and I think that WWE being on Warner Brothers could be, unless they find another home, unless AEW finds another home, I think can be the beginning of the end for AEW.
Well, I mean, yes and no. At the same time, you could always just put it on a different network too, right?
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers Discovery owns more than just TBS and TNT, of course. They have a shit ton of other ones as well. I think it could still be very advantageous, at least for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. I agree
to
with that,
maybe compete have the both companies compete against each other, and not necessarily Warner Brothers Discovery have them work together, but manipulate it so that there is competition and get each promotion to do some crazier shit. Because ultimately, if you have that competition thing really going and a lot of hot heat there, Warner Brothers is still like the winner because they have both shows anyways.
True.
So I think it could work. It's just, I don't know. I don't necessarily see WWE or AEW liking that idea.
Because Tony Khan seems a bit, I'm not saying scared, but he did a press conference or an interview this week. I have it on my X, saved it on my X, where he's kind of like being on the defensive, seeing AEW is under attack constantly every week.
Yeah. Saw that.
So, like, constantly every week. I don't know. Every time we do a show, we finish, we have a great show, we come out, and it's AEW being attacked. But I don't know. He's because okay. I've seen yeah. I've seen kind of the out of nowhere insults and attacks, but other than that, all I really see is just criticism, or what they call what's that word? Help me out of here, JLB.
Backlash, criticism,
constructive
criticism.
Okay. Constructive
criticism.
Yeah, that's mostly what I see. Obviously, there's the internet trolls that are gonna say
Right.
stupid shit. That's normal. But other than that, I think it's only that type of constructive criticism where here's where you could improve. That's.
I mean, where are you seeing this constructive criticism from, though?
Well, when I see what people
I
complain
feel like
about it.
So many trolls, though, bro.
No, there is trolls.
tons.
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt that there's
escaping that
trolls.
either. Yeah.
But I'm saying, other than the bullshit insults that you just throw around from the marks there, because you have the two extremities, the WWE fanboys and the AEW marks, and okay, other than when they're throwing insults at each other. But like the person like us that just love wrestling and that like enjoy wrestling, and that can have a constructive conversation about what they like and what they don't like about a product. I think where I hear them talk more is more stuff like we talk about. Like maybe they should use their promotion department better, or their marketing department better. Maybe they could change a bit in the booking, the way he books. Maybe he could hire somebody with experience in booking that can maybe help him out. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. That's okay. That's not you being under attack. That's just your fans telling you where you can improve.
No, that's fair, but it also depends on what he is taking to heart too, right? He didn't go into full detail of, I was said this and so on. I do think he's maybe talking about a mixture of both, but I think he's also maybe talking about the dirt sheets too. So, with a lot of the dirt sheets maybe spinning a few of the news articles in a bad way. Maybe Tony Khan just only likes the positive stuff as well, obviously, like anyone would, but you got to take the good with the bad. But you would think he'd be used to that with his football team there.
Yeah.
I'm not a football fan, but I imagine they're not the greatest. Haven't really heard about the what are they called? The Jaguars?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I haven't really heard much about them for being Super Bowl contendants or even making it to the.
Having a good year.
Huh?
Having okay. They were having an okay year before the star quarterback got hurt, but he's definitely in the past years before this year. I've definitely heard a lot of criticism from Jacksonville fans towards the Khan family. Or the ownership, more directed towards the ownership of the Jaguars, because Tony, at the end of the day, is not the face of the Jaguars, where he's definitely the face of AEW. He's at every show. He's with his huge announcements. So he's definitely the face. So I can feel where maybe he's feeling the pressure more personally. than where he's felt it in the past from owning the
Oh,
Jaguars.
that's possible. Okay.
But because he's the guy going out, so it is on his shoulders. So I understand the pressure. It does lie on his shoulders, and so I could see where he takes it more personally. But he's gonna have to learn to harden his shell there, because if he's gonna continue being the face of the company and appearing at all the shows and doing his and being the face of the authority of AEW, I think those criticisms are going to keep coming, whether they're from trolls or whether it's constructive from guys like us. I think it's going to keep coming. So,
and I think you got to learn to take that, whether it's positive or negative, learn to take it and do something with it. You know what I mean? Use it to your advantage. I understand it's hard, and don't be afraid to go get some help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're doing a lot as well. I think people complain about the booking decisions, the booking. There's only so many times people can complain until, it's an issue. So, maybe get some help. You know what I mean? I understand you want to control everything. You're a huge wrestling fan, but even huge wrestling fans need help too. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean just because you've watched so much wrestling doesn't make you the best booker in the world.
No, definitely not.
So
definitely not. And like, for example, like we touched on it before, a bit of the Hardy Boys, where Matt Hardy on his podcast kind of stated his miscontent with the way they've been booked recently. Right. That's also something else he needs to work on. These we've seen it before in AEW, and it's not to say we've never seen it in WWE, but they control this more. Is keep these things under private, right? Don't wash your dirty laundry.
They've been giving fines now for that.
Oh well, yeah, it's that. I think they even made a joke about it with Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan made a joke.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see that because for I don't think Matt Hardy is a veteran in this business, so I don't think Matt Hardy would just, without speaking to Tony, just shit on him during this podcast. Maybe he's tried to speak to Tony already, and he hasn't gotten the response or the back. Hasn't gotten back to him the way he would like, so he felt like he needed to go public with that. But that's also maybe it's because you're taking too much work on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, okay, I understand you lost.
Josh Alexander also, was it Josh Alexander? No, the Octopus guy. Didn't he complain? He was in ROH and he was trying to talk to him about certain things to get a re-sign. And then he ended up lashing out and telling everyone, like, I can never contact the guy. He was never there. It's not Josh. Who's the Octopus guy?
The Octopus guy now.
Octopus. He wore an octopus mask, or not an octopus mask, but he wore that thing. He was in ROH for like a very long time.
Oh, yes.
Josh Alexander, Jason Alexander, Josh something. No, it's Josh. Is it a Josh?
No, Josh Alexander is the one that used to be Ethan Page's partner in TNA.
No. He was the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah.
He was Jonathan Grisham.
Grisham.
That's it.
Yes, that's true.
A J there somewhere. Yeah.
That's true. He did say that. Yeah. So this problem looks like it's not an isolated problem just with Matt Hardy. This problem has been around. So, like, you need people, and you work a lot. He's a workaholic. You have to deal with the soccer team. I understand. You have to deal with the Jaguars. And now with this company, that's taking a lot of your time because it's a startup. So I understand that, but the how do you say in English? In French, you say délégué.
Delegate.
Delegate some of your workload. Find people that are good at what they do and hire them and delegate a bit. They have gotten rid of. QT Marshalls, probably was he was the talent relations type of person there. Yeah. Also, what's the other one? QT Marshall, the other one that resigned recently, but him, it was more in the production. He was a producer. that guy from WCW from the dungeon there.
Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan, exactly. Thank you. Also that. So you're kind of adding workload on your back instead of levitating it a bit or making it the load a bit lighter. So it's time to find yourself surround yourself with some competent people so you could get all these problems out of the way and maybe move forward.
No, that's it. And, I mean, I guess he has Daniel Bryan taking over the social media aspect now and all that. Not really sure what Chris Jericho is doing. He's kind of more just, I guess, the locker room leader, if you will, and handling that. And I don't know. He somewhat has people delegating certain stuff backstage.
I know that Tony Schiavone, he's like the HR.
So technically, if you have a problem, you should be talking to Tony. But can he?
Schiavone.
Does he? Yeah, Tony Schiavone. Sorry. Yeah, that's important to specify. Yes, would be to talk to Tony Schiavone, and then Tony Schiavone talks to Tony Khan. But we also don't know how much does Tony Schiavone have Tony Khan's ear. Also,
I think that Schiavone goes sees Daniel, then Daniel talks to Tony.
That's a strong possibility.
Yeah,
because it seems like Daniel or Brian, sorry, has a direct line to Tony Khan here. I think that's his new go-to guy to help him out. He's nominated Bryan Danielson as probably that guy. But I don't know. I feel like there's missing a link for the rest of the locker room. If guys are coming out and complaining about having a hard time reaching Tony or getting to talk to Tony or having a message get to Tony, and then having another one, which Matt Hardy seen before, was they were pretty close. He was a lot more on TV, and then recently they just stopped appearing. Whether it's even ROH, I don't know. I think some things need to change in that aspect.
No, there's definitely a communication breakdown, and Tony Khan isn't as reachable as one might think. Mind you, yes, Vince maybe wasn't either per se. You had to talk to certain people. But it just seems like, I don't know. It's not the first time we hear about there being communicative issues, and I don't know. It's been a while too. It's not like just last month. It's been since the start of AEW. First year, we gave him a chance. But yeah, something definitely needs to change.
One thing is for sure. That if this year in Wrestling Observer's end of the year or year review awards that they give out, if Tony Khan wins for a second year in a row Booker of the Year, then there's definitely a bias problem in Wrestling Observers.
For sure. Yeah.
All the accusations been thrown to Uncle Dave's way would have to be seriously taken into consideration if Tony Khan wins Booker of the Year.
No, because Trips is definitely going to win for sure.
Yeah. I think Trips is the man this year to win. Which I think it's end of December. He does his awards also, doesn't he? If I'm not 100% sure, I'm not even 50% sure. But I think it would be. I think it's end of the year.
I think it's mostly. I think it's like the last week he puts them out or something.
Okay.
Or maybe it might even be like the beginning
of January. Yes,
January or something too.
Yeah.
By the way, so SmackDown is actually already recorded for next week. Not sure if we want to necessarily spoil anything.
No, we don't.
But I did read the spoilers there. So you will at least get AJ talking next week, of course, about what went on there.
think that's about
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty much it there.
Is there a pay-per-view? Is that the reason why it was recorded pre-taped?
No, because it's on a Friday on the 30th. And they're
Oh,
sending,
okay, yes,
they're
that right.
sending the
Well,
folks for
yes.
the
well, no,
Halloween.
it's on the 24th technically.
No, it's on the 30th. It's on the 29th, sorry.
Whoa.
No, but you're going
Oh, I'm
way
talking
too
about something
far.
else. I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
This
It's,
Friday,
it's just because they're giving them the holidays off.
That's it.
yeah,
That's
that's it. Triple H had said he wanted to give them more time to spend with
Mhm.
family during the holidays, so that makes
Amen.
Amen,
sense.
brother.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Amen to that. Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
I guess Triple H has changed his ways in the workers' rights.
Well, since he got that heart scare, he's more
more
life's
caring,
short. Life's short. Spend with the ones
Yeah.
you love.
and that's understandable. You got a
Mhm.
scare there, so and it's good for the wrestlers. I'm sure they're happy about it too.
Yeah. That's it.
so-
I mean, they already have less of a workload technically, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah,
them
yeah.
being house shows on weekends. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they don't work 300 days a year no more.
no, that's it. That's it. I would be surprised if they even hit 200 technically.
I'm
'Cause
thinking because of the separation of the roster, and since like you said, most of the house shows are on the weekend. I
Mhm.
think they're off between. So I think they work 4 days a week, if I'm not mistaken. So 4 times 50, which would be about 200. Take out the holidays and all that, so it's probably just under 200
Yep.
days a year. So
So
I'm
still
sure
a
they're
lot,
happy
though.
about that, and I'm sure their bodies are also very happy about that.
I'm sure. Absolutely. Yeah. That's still a lot and hard on the body too. But if you're used to there were at least like what 300 around. So
Yeah, there would be between 280 and 300 they were doing a year, depending on how big you were
right.
and how popular you were. So that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's
So
that's definitely a lot on the body for sure.
yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. So the only thing we really have going is basically New Year's End. Right? New Year's End for AEW as the last pay-per-view of the year.
Mhm.
I don't think NXT is having anything. No, New Year's End would be the last pay-per-view of the year.
The world's end.
New Year's End. World's End. That's contradicting. New Year's End.
And I think they have what NXT has their show of what is it called? Day one? Is it day one?
I think they're actually calling it day one. Yeah.
Yeah. So which would be on the first? No, sorry, on the second. Okay. No, the second is a Wednesday, right? No, first is second is a Tuesday, so that would be on the second.
Technically,
Yeah.
New Year's Evil.
Oh yes, they have New Year's Evil, so they do have a.
So they do have a pay per view then.
They do on the 30th. On the 30th. Yeah, on the 30th.
Yeah, on the 30th. So
Saturday the 30th. So.
no, never mind. Tuesday. Oh no, this might be like way back when. Well, they had last year's New Year's Evil on January 10th.
Oh, okay. It was
So
past. So it could be that it's not on the 30th. That it's more in January.
Right. That's it. So we just don't know what we're talking about.
Let me just plug over here our Rumble Bash.
Do it.
So we're doing our second time after the success of last year's Rumble Bash. By popular demand, we are back, and we're doing January 7th for Royal Rumble, our Rumble Bash, where we'll be at 9515 Hochelaga Street in the East End, close to Honorable Grand Metro for all yous that like to take public transportation. There will be food, there will be drinks, not expensive. We'll be doing our Royal Rumble pools like we did last year. So all you guys are welcome. If you want to throw us a little message and let us know you want to come, so we could have about an idea of how many people we are going to be. You guys are more than welcome. Everyone is welcome. Come and watch Rumble with us and join our pool. We'll be recording probably our Saturday Slam probably a bit later that day at the venue.
For sure.
So yeah, so you guys are all welcome. Everybody that likes Rumble, I know it's a fun time of the year for wrestling fans. It's some fans' favorite pay-per-view. So everybody's welcome. 9515 Hochelaga on January 27th for our second annual WTN's Rumble
Rumble
Bash.
Bash 2, exactly. Yeah, and go ahead. You were going to say something?
No,
No? Okay. Yeah, and Rumble Bash 2, that's going to be exciting. Royal Rumble, if you're not even a hardcore wrestling fan, the casual fans do at least watch the Rumble and the WrestleMania season, Rumble and WrestleMania. So by all means, feel free to come on. It was a big hit last year, and really excited to do it again this year. Should be a really good time. And it was 95-15 Hochelaga, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
he got it after 2 years.
Boom, baby. Yeah. And 95-15 Hochelaga, like Kid Crazy mentioned, Ane Beaugrand is the closest metro. Going to be a good time, guys. We are going to keep promoting it a lot more. Feel free to message us on our socials, where you can find Kid Crazy at...
You can find me on Facebook at Michael Costa, and on WTN, you follow what's the TikTok WTN handle?
WTN Wrestling, I believe.
WTN Wrestling on TikTok. We're trying to post more there and try to interact with fans there. So we're on a push to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok. So we would really appreciate it if our fans and our supporters would share us on TikTok. And share our event also for Rumble Bash. Even if you can't be there because you have previous engagements, just help us out and share it. So maybe some of your friends that will be available will like to come and join us. So thank you for everybody that will be helping us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. We're trying to push our TikToks a lot more too. So, feel free to give us advice on some TikTok love on how we can do it a lot better. We are, joining in with the cool kids, as they say. But Big Red, where can they follow you as well, good sir?
You can find me on my personal Facebook on Jonathan Piquez. Or you could follow me on my TikTok, Instagram, Big Red's collection. Basically, it's my collection. I give ideas of displays, what risers and lighting and all kind of stuff, or on our page, WTN Wrestling Talk Now.
Boom. Yes. So Wrestling Talk Now, WTN Wrestling Talk Now on Facebook. For most of the social media handles, it is WTN Wrestling, except on Twitch, where it's WTN _ Wrestling Talk Now. All the links will be down below in the doobly-doos, of course. On my end, you can follow me at JLB420 on X. And twitch.tv/JLBTLC25 on Twitch, where I just basically am streaming Spider-Man right now because I haven't finished Spider-Man 2 yet. But also play a bunch of wrestling games as well. And all the links will be down below in the doobly-doos for everything, all our social handles and our link tree if you want them all in one special place. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So another great Saturday show, you guys. And we'll see what happens next week. We'll run it all down for you again every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And it has been a good one. So until next time, ciao for now.